Hello guys, this is Vivek here. Welcome to my channel. So guys, today we are going to look into exception handling in Power Automate. So today we'll see how we can handle the exceptions bring in Power Automate. So basically, generally how we do in our code base, right? You would have heard of TryCatch. So there are two blocks, try and catch. So in the try, we write the code, and in the catch, we catch the exception. So anything, you know, and any error getting occurred into try block, automatically it will push us that specific code line into the catch block, and we just capture the message. The same thing how we can achieve in Power Automate. So this has been one of the very much needed question in our interviews for Power Apps developers. So okay, to get started, I have just a dummy list which we will be using it to do HTTP call. So for example, let's say we have this config list. So via Power Automate, we'll try to call this list using HTTP request, and we will see like the different scenarios how we can create an exception and how we can log that. So let me go to Power Automate screen. So here let me go and create a instant cloud flow which I'll be triggering manually. So I'll just quickly create this. So now so now guys, I was talking about try catch, right? So here we have a block called scope. So let me search for you. Scope. So this is that block, scope. So scope is something. It's a kind of umbrella under this. Whatever blocks you are putting, so all the blocks will be under this umbrella. So I can say umbrella, I can say bucket, whatsoever. So if in case any exception is occurring under this scope, so all the blocks will be considered as a single family of this scope. Okay. So we will have two scopes basically. So let me have another scope block. So for this scope block, you can just rename it as try, just for our understanding purpose, and this scope will be catch. So now we have the catch block, and now we have the try block. Okay. So now what I'll do is, if you click on these three dots, there is something called configure run after. So what it says like configure run after. So this scope block should catch block should only run if try is succeeded. So that should not be the case. So if the try scope anything is failing inside this block, then this specific catch should run. So instead of is successful, I'll just mark it as has failed, has skipped, has time. So if any of the three actions is happening, it should automatically push my code to the catch block. If I give done, fine. Now let me add a HTTP call. So please refer to my old videos if you are new to HTTP calls. So now if I go and select my site, and let's say I'm going to query this specific you know config list now. So API underscore web lists get by title. That is what I'll be just passing the URI. So underscore API web lists get by title. And now what is the title of our list? It's config list. So I'll just paste it here. Now guys, let me run this and check if if this HTTP call is returning. So if I quickly save this, so my flow is getting saved here. So now it's saved. Now let me test this quickly. If I test this, I have just ran my flow. So it says some error. Let me see what is that error. So so it says like web list get by title config list is not a valid one. Fine enough. So I think so. Let me edit this and go to the call. So I have to declare this, into the brackets, into the codes in fact. So let me save this now. Yeah. So if you could see guys, try catch, try block has ran. It did not go to catch. So why did not go to catch? Because there is no exception occurring. So if I just expand this, you could see, you know, the things are coming up. I mean, we are getting the value of that HTTP call. Now let me edit this and let me just make it as config list one. So I'm just renaming the list name to config list one. Basically, list name is config list, but since I'm passing a wrong name, let's see what is the exception occurring. Now, if I test this, so if you could see there is an exception occurring. So it says like the list config list one does not exist. So basically, this is the error of the HTTP call. And then, since there is exception occurring, if you could see, our cache block is getting called up. But we are not doing anything in the cache block, but it is getting called up. So let's declare a variable and try to cache this message. So if there is exception, I'm able to call this, but let's try to capture that message. So now if I edit this, let me quickly initialize a string variable. Sorry, I'm sorry. So initialize a variable. So let me put it as log error. It be as a string. Now if I quickly go to cache block and add an item, and if I give set variable, so in the set variable a log error, I want to capture the body of this item. So body of this item. So if I just go to peek code, uh, I don't see the body coming up. Fine. So if you click here and if you select the body, this body, so in this body, basically, if I go the code for this is the body. This part, if I copy from here, this part, see it very carefully. Now in this body, let me just write an expression. In this body, I want, you know, I want the message. So to get the message, we have to just iterate to the message column. So you see how I'm just writing the expression message. So in this body, I'm interested in the message. So I'm just putting question mark and with the square brackets, and in quotes I'm putting it as message. Now if I hover over here, you could see this is the expression getting built up. Okay. Now let me run this and let me check from the body whatever error we had, are we able to capture in this log error. So I have ran it. Now there should be an exception here. There is an exception. I am going to the cache block and I'm setting the variable, and yes, I was able to capture that specific message. So list config list one does not exist. So this is that error, that error message we are able to capture it over here. So guys, similar way, once you have the variable with the error, you can just log it in your site somewhere. So let's say you're creating an exception log list, so you can just log it over there for any of the specific action block getting failed. But in case, let's say you have n number of actions happening in the try, so in that case, you will not be able to exactly know like where has the error gone. But instead, you can have a cache block, and you can just log it like, yeah, this specific instance of workflow has failed. But if you want to really interested to check a specific block getting failed, this is where you can achieve it. So hope I'm understandable to you, and if you have any queries here, probably just comment me out, and I'll be there to help you out for sure. So that is all, guys, about the exception handling. Thank you so much for watching the video.